So, uh, you guys all met up with Lady Trixie, who seemed to be completely fine with Kairos joining her service for two separate deals. Or I for her first deal is that he explores the Feywild in its entirety, which she simplified it to meet every single one of the Archfey. And two, that he finds someone to help out in the Fractured Remnant. And considering you had to do that, and there is another Archfey inside of the Fractured Remnants, Lady Storms,
Mm-hmm.
you both, or everyone basically considered it to be a better idea, especially considering that up until now you have not heard much good out of
Eh.
the
Out of the two
land.
natives that are currently traveling with you.
Yes, you have not heard much about Lady Light and her region that
Yeah.
you have liked. So you think it might be better to do that later.
Go for the more unknown than the one that's more known, but would most likely cause chaos.
Yes. You travel the Fractured Remnants. It's a very everyone immediately noticed it was a very sandy, dark gray area.
Hmm.
And
Reminds me
the
of my old
difference
home.
is the difference is that no one knows this place. Not even Certain has been here
Zen
very
is gonna
rarely.
be
Fern has
late. Got a doctor's appointment,
Alright,
he says.
cool.
So he's showing
Certain
up at
has
least.
Yeah, fair enough. Certain has been here very infrequently, maybe once or twice, and Fern has never been here at all. But from what you do know, this is a place, well, it's fractured. Every single little thing that cannot grab a place grabs a little piece of here. So, vampires, goblins, hexbloods. And it is very heavily connected to the Shadowfell, which
Maybe even
is the.
some kobolds.
Yes. Kobolds are so spread out across the worlds,
Mhm.
but they're also really good at hiding. And due to goblins already being here and having set up before them, it might be a tad more unlikely. I'm not saying you won't find any. I'm saying it's less likely than for
We
you to
find
find
3
goblins.
kobolds in a trench coat.
Logland.
Trench coats would be very hard to find. As you all go to the most normal place you could find. It's quite literally called a place of normalcy, considering that it is owned by two humans, one of which you know as Malin the Tavern Keep, who seem to have a young son and an even younger daughter that Laciel was playing with. Until which one of you steps up to the door?
I will.
Kairos?
Yep.
You guys are all sitting there. You're talking to Thanada, who seems like a very interesting sort, and only Kairos has recognized just how young she is. And you'll go for the door, and you see standing in front of you three pale skinned, you can't see their eyes because it's all covered in hoods. The insignia of a seemingly teeth on the right side of their chest. One of them,
Would
the one to the right is a woman. The other two are men. The guy in the middle is a solid bit bigger than the other two. And he says, "May we come in?" And as he says that, it's very clearly he's showing you his tooth. This is not a vampire who's hiding his intention.
I look back towards the tavern's owner or whatever, and
We'll
say,
say that no one else has realized what's happened yet. You are the first and only person.
well, then I will I'll yell out to the tavern keeper, tavern owner.
What will you yell out?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a few vampires here asking to come in.
Immediately, the very limited amount of noise there was in the tavern stops. And Malin says, shit. As he puts down the glass, and before he can even move, you can see Thanada stands up, walks over. Unlike everyone else who seems maybe a bit uncomfortable or scared, she seems maybe a tad angry. It says, "We both know you have no jurisdiction here, so get out." And he says, "I do apologize, but this is a specific matter. Are you perhaps one of the Veil Walkers?" And he looks at you, Kairos.
Yes, I am.
At
Who
this point,
speaks for
Kindle might get up.
I then yell out Kindle.
And I'll say as Kindle stands up, immediately Laciel's with you. And you can see at this point, the one in the middle reveals their hood. Sleeked black hair, elven-like ears, very much vampire. And unlike, you've known very limited amount of vampires, and you know that Seraphi has known a lot more. But you know they usually hide their identity, so this is very curious. And he then looks at Kindle and says, "You speak for you all?"
Yes. Now, what are you looking for?
Well, it seems like we found it. And the wording that our master used, Thanada, was that we would harm no one unless given reason. Our master seeks to speak to you Veil Walkers.
Who exactly is your master?
He says, okay, so I want you to roll history for me, as he says, "Come on, this should not be too difficult."
That's a 15.
That's more than enough. So in your head, you're very quickly able to narrow it down. If a vampire refers to a master, there are two possibilities. It is either the one who sired them, so the person who made them a vampire, or it is one of two vampires, Dracula or Strahd. Strahd is basically permanently inside of the Shadowfell. And you know about Dracula's castle that it moves around, and you had already been told that you're pretty sure that Lady Trixie told you about Dracula's castle might be present there, but that she was unsure. So you're very quickly able to narrow down your head. This is Dracula that he is talking about. And I'll also say this, Fern. I will say Surdin seems to have turned into a squirrel and disappeared. He waits your response.
Kindle would quickly look back at the other group and just assess. Like, do we have any options here?
Roll insight.
That's a 10.
Well, actually, roll insight, roll perception for me as well.
Okay. Hearing or
Because
sight
perception
based?
is difficult. It's an 18. You need to get an 18 to see this.
Where's it based off of? The perception.
Let's say hearing.
Hearing. Okay, I have advantage. Yeah, I need 18. I got 18.
You got an 18. These are not. You could sense tapping footsteps this is not a very bustling place. There's not that many people here. And there are a lot of footsteps, and they're very light. You count maybe, outside of these 3, 7, 8 others. As you start to realize, they did not come with a very small number.
So we don't have a choice in the matter. Got it. Bless you.
Why does Amir always sneeze with her? Sneezes if her soul disappears. Okay. I'll say that then. I'll also say Lockhart.
I'm sorry, wait, what did you just say?
Unreal sneezes like her soul disappears.
Okay, that was me.
Yeah, that's Bly.
That was you?
Yeah, that's Bly.
Sorry, I thought it was Unreal, but you guys sneeze similarly. And it's also because you went completely silent. Unreal usually needs a second or two to repair herself.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'll say this, Lachlan. Kairos immediately is able to recognize this may seem like to nobody, a very young person. This guy's 700-800 years old. And other than the vampiric ears, he does not have any other elven features. This is the guy who has been a vampire for a very long time. His skin a bit ashen due to the environment. He's been here for a while. Unlike the other two who seem to have much paler, lighter skin. And he continues by saying, we do not wish to commit any harm to this place. We only ask that you come with us. He has not and you also notice he has not realized that you have noticed that there are other vampires. And I will say this, no one but Kindle would have noticed by now.
Mm-hmm.
Kindle
All that
will
I
just
ask.
motion to the others to get up. We're going.
As you motion, you can see Thanada immediately says, yeah, I'm coming with. Like,
goes.
yeah, I think that's a sign.
Yeah, it was
Thanos
Suzanne.
immediately pipes up and says, I'm coming with. I need to see this. And you can see the vampire looks at Thanada, closes his eyes a bit, looks back at you, Kindle, as if he's seeing permission.
I'll allow you to come, but be aware. If you get
I
hurt-
will say protection is only granted to the Veil Walkers, so I cannot promise anything. Thanda, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just send us.
We could make him a temporary member of the Veil Walkers.
She, Thanada, is very
Hey.
female.
Yeah, she. So Kindle has telepathy, so she's going to silently order everyone to create like a circle around Thanada. If they're going to try to attack her, they need to get through us first.
Kairos would have already done that.
Yeah, so I will say... Okay, so I'm going to roll some things. Okay. Okay. I will say Thanada does not notice this attempt at protection. But I will say the vampire says, we never said that we were the ones who were going to risk her.
It doesn't matter. Protection is protection. Now let's get this over with.
With where you're going, that would help. Do you guys all leave?
Yes.
I assume you guys so you guys are trying to make a group around Thanada. So Glaciel's very nearby Thanada as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the group gets made. You all follow the three. And
I will also say I
the-
summoned Sigil and Snow for this as well.
Yeah.
As just added precaution.
And so Kairos will be keeping a very close watch of his surroundings.
Good. So I will say at this point, these are still vampires. They're quick, they're quiet. So even with you guys essentially trying to cover them, it's very strange because as you're following the three become 5, 5 becomes 7, 7 becomes 10, 10 becomes 11. And it's like very quick. And by the time you're out of town, some things that you notice. Firstly, there is a storm in the distance that wasn't originally there. It seems to be raging. Tornado, hurricane-esque, but this is the land of storms. You should expect that. Another thing, you see these dark black steeds. More than how many of you there are, most definitely. But definitely enough for everyone. And they all hop onto the steeds, except for the 3 that came with you originally, as they say, go ahead. They bow to you as you go on. Even though these are vampires, you still somewhat feel like guests more than like you're at risk. And these people are surprisingly gentlemanly. Do you do anything?
No.
Stay
You just
weary.
draw
Yeah, very much stay.
Yeah, stay on alert.
I will assume that like Fern just doesn't try.
No, she will not try.
She'll be faster on her own.
She's definitely not faster, but you guys are not going at a very quick pace.
Plus,
And the people.
do you really want to see a I think it's a deer body, if I'm
Yes.
correct,
Your body.
Yep.
Just
riding on a horse. So
Yeah.
Is it a red horse by a non-red share?
So do you guys all ride out?
I guess so.
I will say some small interactions. As you can see, one of the female vampires kind of looks at Snow with disgust. You notice as you step onto the horse, you look back at one of the vampires, and Curiosity, who hasn't really spoken for a pretty long time, hasn't even bothered to mention anything about Lady Trixie, just says, "No soul."
Interesting.
And Crow, I will say I assume you sit on one of the ones to the further to the back, right?
Yeah.
As you go there, the one who kind of helps you saddle seems to be a pretty woman, dark hair, kind of either human or elven. You can't recognize it immediately. And she just says to you, "We are kindred," and proceeds to walk off to her own horse. Is there anything anyone would like to do?
I would like to
Or
know
be
who
around.
Curiosity was even talking about.
It seems like the completely front-facing, or like the vampire completely at the front, which is not the same man that you were speaking of. It was the man next to him. And it's mostly just a general remark on all of them. It feels like. It's as if there was just so many of them that he's like, I need to say this to remember it. Again, Curiosity is very childlike in nature. So when he sees this many, he sees a pattern of none of them have souls. And you also do probably think this might be the first time that Curiosity has seen a vampire.
Yeah.
So Curiosity is a bit confused. It's a demon. So it gets confused by a lack of soul. And
I guess
vampires
I
are more...
would internally try to explain to him what a vampire is.
You could try. Yeah, just for the sake of time, roll for Arcana to see how. No, actually, roll Intelligence to see how well you explain it.
Oh god.
I feel like that would be more wisdom
22.
than intelligence.
Wait, not 20?
Yeah.
If by some miracle you're able to make Curiosity grasp what a vampire is. Although you know Curiosity does not like it. The way that you feel, because again, Curiosity is a demon. Imagine looking at a burger with no patty.
Yeah.
That's
No,
what he's looking
a
at.
veggie patty.
No patty.
Just
not a
none
fake-
at all.
There's nothing there.
Sorry,
Like,
thin air.
and Curiosity, they dislike this. They like, again, Curiosity is something between a child and a demon and an animal. They don't understand everything fully yet. That's why they spend most of their time silently listening. So they're just confused. So is there anything anyone would like to try while you guys are on the horses?
I'm good. Something tells me if I
I
do
will,
anything, this will probably end badly.
I'll stay at the back of the group with Crow and see how they're doing.
I will say as you're, Kairos, as you're swinging your eyes across everyone, because you're very proficient at seeing people's ages due to your nature. It's fucking weird. Like, the only way you can describe it is fucking weird because you have it feels like you're in a group full of liars, because these are all people, they look very young mostly, but they're all at least 300 years old. The youngest one among them is older than the oldest one among you, which is Snoo, who is more than 400.
Where are we at?
As you all ride out, it's almost as if it's
8
years. The only way to say is that it feels like the clouds and the mist that was only there for a bit seems to separate. It almost appears. Dracula's castle. And calling it a castle would be very strange. It's not a castle. It's feels like an architect's dream, but an engineer's nightmare. Because the way that it's built is so unnatural. There are hallways that are out in the open leading to a hanging structure. It is like hundreds of different compartments, all barely connected. You genuinely think that if you pull out the wrong brick, everything would fall apart, but it doesn't.
So it's non-Euclidean.
It's Euclidean, just not logical. Like, you know where everything is from looking at it, but it's just not a logical construction design. It feels like someone was testing themselves. And for most of you, outside of mountains, this is the largest structure that you have ever seen. So, as you all continue towards this castle, you'd think that it's permanently where it's been with how fitting it is of the area. There's a massive staircase at the front that seems to be leading in multiple directions. As you can see, the vampires that were on the horses fan out to the right and the left of the castle. And the one that you originally spoke to seems to already be there waiting for you. And as you all step off of your horses, even everyone seems quiet because you don't know how this is going to go. You just see as he, with two vampires that you don't recognize next to him, he bows and says, "With this, our master lets you in." Wait a second. نعم. لا لسه. ماشي. sorry, Mike. Well, the only thing is I'm going to have to take a small break, which could not have been at a worse moment. So 5 minutes, maybe 10.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
see.
Anyone who has something to do first?
Make it to 10.
Quickly
No.
sending Bly this so she could see the thing I saw.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
Message. The link I just sent you is the website I was looking at.
Yeah, I could have sworn I was looking at that.
You
But maybe
scroll
I'm
a little bit further down. It says medium size. You scroll a bit further down. It says a bit more details about things.
Okay.
Then you
I
see
see that.
size. It says between 7 and 8.
Yep. How is 7 and 8 feet tall medium though? I feel like that should be.
I don't know.
A large,
The logic.
a large creature takes up a 10 by 10 foot space.
Yeah.
By 10.
Big.
Uh,
It's an exponential growth.
yeah.
Okay. So can I continue now?
Yes.
Earlier than you are.
So, you all step out to this massive staircase. Like, you can't see the top easily from where you're standing. And I will say at this point, Fern, you can feel it slowly creep along your shoulder as you look for a second. You're scared because of what's happening. You look and you see a squirrel, and you very quickly realize that has to be certain. He seemed to like to force the advantage and actually was stealthy enough to where he managed to escape the sight of every single one of the vampires. Yeah. Do we need Numa do so? So you all climb up these massive set of stairs, and you see all the other vampires are gone, as if they're turned to mist or bats or whatever other 50 ways they have of disappearing. It is 8 p.m. outside, and there are these massive. They remind you of the doors to Asmodeus's castle, with how massive they are. They're a bit smaller, like that they might be usable by something big enough.
Mm.
What do you wish to do?
I knock on the ripoff of Asmodeus's doors.
I will say Thanada also just kind of looks at what you do and says, "Yeah, you did the right thing, but that was a little bit rash." And as then you see, there is some noises inside. Clearly just shuffling. And the doors open inwards into the building on their own. Inside, a massive red carpet, seemingly torches or lights. They're not lights you recognize, but Thanada very much looks at the lights with a general confusion. And every single side, there seems to be 6 pillars on each side. This place is massive. This is the main hall. There's not a throne room or anything. At the end is just a staircase which seems to lead to all the other separate places. Although there is a spot where a throne could be placed. And in the faraway distance, you hear what seems to be a piano playing. And in the distance, you all see on the right staircase from your guys' perspective, a large man, very dark clothing, red on the inside, goatee, mustache, very well kept hair, as he seemingly walks down the staircase and disappears. Do you do anything?
So he went down the stairs and disappeared.
He went down a couple of stairs. You could hear the noise of him going down the stairs, and he simply disappeared into mist.
Hmm. I just look around.
Kendall was mostly
Does
trying
anyone-
to observe and see where we're supposed to be going.
Well, there seems to be one really big carpet forward to the stairs where he was.
So I guess that's where we're
And
going.
you can see, by the way, the lights are connected to the pillars. Everything behind the pillars is just darkness. You could not see
Hmm.
into it if you tried.
There could be hidden people in the shadows. Hidden vampires in the shadows.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Do you guys say that?
Yes, Kairos
loud?
would whisper that to Kindle.
I would reply telepathically to him.
Okay, so he'll only have heard Karos's response. Only Karos's response. Okay.
I mean, why would
And-
they do something now and not earlier, though? I don't think they're gonna attack us just suddenly out of the shadow. At least not.
I will say
yet.
after a little bit, you guys all walk forward onto it. First, a couple things you notice. This place, although it's dauntingly big, it is beautiful. The architecture is very well made. The piano music, you expect it to be scary or sanguine. It's strangely hopeful. And you can then hear out of the darkness to your right side, you hear a man say, "Well, it seems like I've gotten a bit more than I bargained for."
Guess we're good at
And-
bargaining.
The sound isn't coming from one direction, it's moving. And he says, "That is how I got this way. Seem to have gotten some extra figures." And you can see Thanida crosses her arms. And then Dracula continues by saying, "I do not believe that you are one of the people I asked for." Still not revealing himself. And she then responds by saying, "I think this was a pretty important matter for me to see. So fuck off." It seems like Thanda's confident. She's young, but she's confident. As if she knows he won't do anything. And you can see he laughs from the distance. And then says, "I wouldn't say that's the only other one. You can reveal yourself now, Druid." There's a second of silence where Surdin, who's hidden as a squirrel on Fern's shoulder, seems to just sit there and think. This says, "I'll reveal myself," as he shows himself and says, "Well, we mean you no harm. Although I would probably suggest revealing yourself." And I'll assume Crow's at the back, right?
Yeah.
I will say, Crow, from behind you, you see a very long, big, pale hand. Nails that seem to stretch out just a little bit further than they should. This man is 9-10 feet tall. Absolutely massive, but there's a grace to him.
But I
As
see a very pale hand is reaching towards me from behind.
I will say he reaches out for a second as he then seems to enter into a bow and just says, "Welcome."
Hey. Did not expect to
As you give that
English
shyish
from behind.
response, he seems to stand up like a noble. Looks at you for a second, looks at the rest. So outside of Thanida, does anyone show confidence?
Kairos will just
Not Fern.
he won't show exact confidence, but he doesn't look not confident either.
Well, okay. Kindle, nobody.
Kindle was doing her best to hide her emotions, basically.
I will say that he then looks around and says, I can't seem to recognize who would speak among you. Which one is it?
That would be me.
Well then. And your name, my lady?
Kindle.
Pleasure.
Feel like that was stupid.
As he looks among you, he's trying to recognize what he's looking at.
He's
Clearly
a
had his moments
vampire, he's not
already.
a fae. Why?
Vampires are not fae, no.
Mm,
As
yeah, but
he
we're
looks
Fae
around,
wild.
and you can see for a second the first emotion this man shows. He looks at Laciel, who seems to just be clutching her hand, Kindle, and looks for a second. A second of confusion washes over him, but immediately translates back to his own normalcy and says, well, please, do sit. We have much to talk about. As lights on the right side of the room seem to light up as you see a massive dinner table. And you look back, you can see him formlessly disappear into shadows below you, and the shadows seem to bolt off in that direction.
I'm guessing that's where we're going.
Yep.
I don't
this
decide where you
feels-
go.
This feels somewhat like a trap, though. At the same time,
Yeah, as Kindle normally does, she's not sitting. She does not trust chairs.
yeah, Kairos won't sit either. He'll just stand around the table.
Frankly, I
what
doubt
do you
I
guys do
even
that?
can sit down.
I will say he has not adapted to the factor of servitor yet, but does notice and seemingly just you see he is the only one sitting, but unlike everywhere else, there does not seem to be a meal. And Thanada just says, just sit or he'll make a remark, and goes and sits down. On his left side, but one seat away. So there's a seat between him and her. And you can see it is a beautiful dining hall. And you can see Dracula continues and says, well, I have been trying to make it good for my guests, and you guys don't seem to be helping out. I promise you those chairs are not dangerous. Or the food.
I'm gonna just do an Arcana check anyway. Kindle does not like chairs.
Roll. Go ahead and roll. Considering last time you guys sat at a chair with a stranger,
Yeah.
that didn't end well.
What
Oh, yeah.
happened last time?
Kairos isn't sitting
Um,
because of that, but
um,
also
Thing is,
With,
that happened
Marcel.
to Kindle 5 different times, including the one that happened at the quarry. So yeah, she doesn't
Yeah.
trust chairs.
He does not trust
also
you.
Kairos doesn't really sit on chairs with backs on them. He often sits on stools.
How's he supposed to know that? I'll say though, one chair has turned into. It's flat now, has no back, and it's bigger. So you think that you might be able to sit on it in your usual loaf, Fern.
Okay.
For me,
Hello,
or
Steve.
I rolled a
Say,
19.
though, okay, so what did you get for Arcana?
19.
I also want you to roll inside real quick, but I'll say that without Arcana, you are nigh on guaranteed nothing wrong with these chairs magic wise.
Another 19.
Number 19. You also know he is stopping himself from threatening. This is him being nice.
Okay. I'll
So-
take the seat next to Fernanda.
And, okay, so the
Between
one
him-
after or the one in... Okay, between... Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, considering Glacial... I'll say Glacial sits on the other side of Thanada. The meals in front of you are
And
these strange steaks. Seemingly made out of...
Also,
Cow,
for I
probably.
know Glacio was nervous, so I'm gonna have Snow sit with her, like in her lap.
That's fine. I'd say
and
that.
I'll sit on the other side of Glaciel. I will.
Yeah. Okay. I'll say that she probably she is nervous. She's although definitely more scared than when she's interacted with other people, and she just starts playing with Snow and even tries to get Thanada to play with her a bit, but currently the moment's too stressful. The meals in front of you look exquisite, but they don't look like something we would normally. It looks like a Feywild recreation of a meal that would be made in the material plane. That's the best way to describe it. But it looks delicious. And unlike everyone you see, Dracula does not have a meal in front of him.
Well, he's a vampire. He can't really eat this stuff. That kind of makes sense.
I can, but I don't think that anyone here is questioning what I am. I guess. I do find it curious before we get this started. What is a storm giant and the greatest druid among the Everdark doing here? The highest praise to you, of course, certain. Have never spoken to you directly, but have spoken with your master. I see Certain just says, I am their guide. I know this place much better than them, and they have done me great service, so thought I'd help them. Also, it is a pleasure. And Thanada, waiting out Certain, just says, let's just get to the point. Why are we here? And you can see he looks at her again. It's almost as if he's being annoyed by her being rude. Like, God damn. Helemaal. Ja, ik snap. Ik ben die wel alleen. Ik ben die wel alleen. Ja hoor. Ja. Ik snap. Okay. So. And he immediately responds to, he doesn't respond to her being rude, but you see him, he makes a face. And seems to try to smooth over the conversation again by looking at Laciel and says, I do apologize for what has happened to your people. Laciel stops for a second, shocked. And no one else really seems to understand what it means. Does anyone here want to say anything?
I would
Not
appreciate
really,
it
no.
if you didn't bring up stuff like that.
Well, you could say that, but I think that she might like to know. It is curious. I have not seen one of her kind in a very long time.
Can
I remember
do.
when
Hmm?
world was bustling with them. Go ahead. What is it?
Kindle will just look at Glacio and just sort of tilt her head in question. Do you want to hear this?
Glaciel. You know the Glaciel, though she's kind, she has a very upfront nature. And she feels like whatever heartache waits, the words that he says might be worth hearing.
I feel like she'd be the type of person to tell someone to fuck off.
So, yeah, you can see he notices this interaction between you, and you can see Glaciel nods to you. Do you nod to him again?
Yes.
He says, of course you all know who I am. Before I was this, I was a high elf. I know what my old people did to your kind. I was part of the council that enforced that decision. Although I was not one of the people who said that it should happen. The extinction of a race for something that trivial, a different outlook on life, different way of living, felt petty to me. Especially considering the resources were heavily wasted. I am curious, however, where is it that you have been hiding then? And are there more of you? And he seems to be talking straight to Glaciel. She waits for a second and just says, all of them are gone. There are no more. My sincerest condolences. Sometimes it is strange being the last of your kind, or the first. You can choose which one that is. So, I do believe that it is time I bring this up. Anyone have any questions? No?
Why
Good.
did you bring
Why
us
is
here?
it that you?
Oh, wait. Well, okay, yeah, you can see he turned his head to Kairos immediately.
Why did you bring us here?
Oh, that was what I was about to speak on. See, there is a settlement nearby. No real name, it's just a merchant settlement. There are a bunch of people who want to trade. 40 among them are merchants who have disrespected me. But there are other people there, and those merchants have wives. They have children. And you may see me as amoral for what I am, but I do see that there is no reason in killing anyone other than those 40. But if I were to simply go at midnight today and run in, there will be other casualties. The coming of a vampire horde does do that. Do answer me this. Are you all men and women of morals?
Depends what you mean, morals.
Lie, you're not here, so like. Well, unless you want to be close enough for now, I'm fine with that.
It really
Yeah, I
depends
was
on what
just
you
gonna-
mean by morals.
Yeah, I was just gonna be Zosa for now.
Okay. I will say that he then continues and says, well, servants of the king come here to help a friend. Didn't cause any trouble in the lands above. From what I've seen, you seem to be guided by morals. At least somewhat. Maybe only when it's handy. And you can see Surdin and Thanada both pipe up and say, and Thanada just nods. Meanwhile, Surdin just says, I do try to be, but where is this heading? And Rakula continues by saying, in 3.5 hours, midnight, me and some of the members of my conclave will kill anyone remaining in the town. But I do see that I would prefer not to have to kill innocents or people not involved. Now, if the Veil Walkers, one of their first actions inside of the Feywild, would be saving most of a settlement for a vampire incursion, then you could be guided by fame. I could also give some of you something valuable if you are guided by money, or strictly for moral sake. You could save a lot of innocents doing this. I will, of course, allow you to just leave. But do know then, I will not stop attacking any specific. It is your choice.
Mm.
You can speak amongst yourself. I'll just be here listening.
Would you, Dracula? Would you happen to have information on the archfey that lives around and well near here?
Outside of the Lady of Storms, yes. Could give you pretty deep explanation on each of them. Maybe some that your guide has neglected.
Well, some information is better than no information. Well, hardly any information.
You do this for me and you might get a little bit more. So to make the offer as simple as possible for the people that might have not been hearing properly, the offer's simple. Figure out a way to make it that only those 40 merchants are still in there so that I could avenge the injustice they have committed. And you will be rewarded. Fame, glory, monetarily, or just morally.
Do you have the names of those 40 merchants?
Yes, I do, but you do only have 3.5 hours.
Here's a
before we
question.
strike. I don't know.
Who did they
them
come
would be
here to
quick.
trade with?
The people of the Feywilds. But, in spite of them all being human and elven and eladrin and whatnot, they're all followers of Strahd, and the reason why they have set up this settlement is so that they can disrupt what I do, insult my name. They're also very money-hungry people. They'll do anything for their own greed.
I got an idea. Instead of moving.
What is it? Okay.
I don't even get to hear, do I?
The lady, let's just say if the merchants see a group coming to tell them the Lady of Storms has requested to meet with certain people for trading and expanding her territory. And we're asked to wait, but for everyone else to leave. Would that work?
I'll say Dracula just sits there for a second, looks at Thanada. Thanada actually responds with, I could make that look official, yes. I could say. Although she's not happy with the idea. Well, off you go then. Would you like for me to say anything or do anything before you go?
Kindo's not gonna say anything. She's mostly looking at everyone else.
Are we gonna get money for this?
Of course.
Yeah, she's
Sosa
very
is
different on
money hungry.
If that is what you seek, again, I have enough to offer. So then I do suggest you be on your way.
Yes.
And he grabs his bottom side of his cloak, lifts it up over his head, and almost disappears into a dot in the center point of his body. So, you guys have 3.5 hours, and you know that they are going to strike at exactly 12 p.m. The settlement is 30 minutes away on horse. I would
Let's
like
start heading.
I would like for you to tell me. Okay, so let's say you guys are all riding over there. What's the plan?
So Thanada can make this look official, right? I'm guessing the plan would be to have a document of some sort, and I do have paper. That looks like that the Lady of Storms is coming to the settlement to browse, to see if these people can help her like expand like her trading routes or something like that.
Will you be directly saying this to Canada?
Yes.
Canada will respond pretty quickly by saying, "My lady doesn't even move, really."
Say that again.
But
I can't hear.
okay, so sorry. She says, my lady doesn't even move. Doesn't move. Just to translate for people because the accent might be a bit difficult. She stays where she is, but they could be tricked with that the audience might be given to them if they do help. That I could fake.
Okay. Then the question is, how do we convince them to get everyone else to leave but those 40 merchants? I guess we could say it's part of it. Part of whatever
I do
test this
apologize.
is.
I'm not a great liar. And Sword says, "Yeah, not me neither."
Alright, so out of character question,
Okay, yeah. I can fake the audience. I just need someone else to tell me exactly how we're gonna do it.
So out of character question, who here has the highest deception?
Not me.
No?
Did you say perception?
Deception.
Deception.
Okay.
And it's definitely not Crow.
It might be Crow. That's the worst part.
No, it's deception is
Fuck you,
+4.
might be Crow.
Persuasion, however, is +10.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. But +4 is still pretty high.
Yeah, I got a plus
Nice.
4 as
Yeah,
well.
it is.
I also have a +4.
Well, damn.
So they don't want to trick motherfuckers, huh?
But I did have somewhat of an idea.
Also, don't you have force outcome, Kairos? Couldn't you
Yes.
technically use that?
Yes, I could.
Force outcome, firstly, works only on combat.
Okay, yeah. I forgot about that.
And secondly, only works on one person at a time. You're trying to trick a town.
Yeah.
Or a settlement. It's not as big as a town. I'll say you guys are all planning all of this out on the road. And also, I'll say this, outside of this, Dracula was incredibly hospitable towards you all. That's one thing you do notice. At some point, the feeling of being threatened by him just kind of disappeared in spite of who he is.
Yeah, Kairos still doesn't like vampires, so
Well, you don't need to like vampires.
I will ask you again, what is it that Thanada said? Because I don't know what's happening with your mic. The first part of it, I just can't
Okay,
fucking hear.
So, Canada, I'm just going to say what she said. Basically, she can fake an order from the Lady of Storms, but Lady of Storms is not an archfey that moves. So if she were to give someone an audience, it would be via distance. And also, you need to trick them on exactly 12 p.m. because that is when they will strike. and everyone else needs to be outside of the settlement. And you have to also make it so it's specifically those 40 merchants.
So I guess the best way we can do this is we want an audience with these specific people, but everyone else needs to leave.
They are the most prominent people in the settlement.
So that does work.
But if you
I
fuck
would
up
feel
your
like
persuasion
something-
rolls, that could be very.
We could also always bribe them.
I don't think we have the goal to bribe them, I'm gonna be honest.
Well, Kairos does have 194.
I don't think that's gonna work.
You see, Thanda, these are merchants. That's a tad low, especially considering how prominent they are. They're completely fine with trying to fuck with Dracula, which still does seem kind of an interesting choice. So the bribing
Ooh.
idea is out.
We could maybe try and set up a maybe a circus just quite a bit out of town. So then
What?
Certain
well,
Do you
Well,
are you really
says-
trying to think
Certain
well,
that
says
a circus would lure out these people?
Certain
well
says you want us to set up a circus in 3 hours?
Yeah. I don't think that's gonna work.
maybe a play
No.
or something.
Not only that,
Okay, stop.
Either that or
I think
We
our
could-
best idea is to fake an audience, but make it to where everyone else but those 40 merchants leave. I think that idea is the best one. Tell them that we
That's what
want
I-
specifically these 40 merchants for
Just
this
set this
audience,
idea.
and then
These people are greedy, right?
yes.
yeah.
So they would never abandon their money. Correct?
Ooh, we could just steal their money.
That's a bit of a simpler idea. I thought maybe give everyone a reason to evacuate at 11:50. Everyone else evacuates. They will only leave once they have all of their gold. So we
Hey.
time it in such a way to where they might be the only ones still there.
Oh yeah.
But we would have to think of a reason to evacuate. And we would also have to think of a reason why they would believe us.
Tell them the truth, but not the whole truth.
I like it.
Yeah, pretty much.
We could show up, say, vampires incoming. We need to run. And then try to slow down the merchants in some way.
Someone
So
figures out where
Zosa is with
they
us,
keep their
correct?
money.
Zosa as
Yes.
well, yes.
And we also have 2 druids, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
get so stupid,
So
aren't you?
I would like to say 10 minutes before the plan. We will have, or 10 minutes, depending how long this would take. Earth, you tell us how long this would take.
You guys have 3 hours. Do with them what you will.
Okay, I would like for the 2 druids and our rogue to stealthily go into their houses and try and split up wherever the money is. Like, split it up around the house, hide it, and just split it up. Make
Okay.
it hard for them to collect it.
Yeah, make it hard for them to get to it.
I like that. I like that idea. Okay.
That could be worse.
Does everyone agree with this? Including the druids and the rogue.
Not
One
sure.
druid
Why-
we
why
can't
not
really
yet?
speak for, but the other's fine with it.
Certain will follow anything you guys do. Certain is not the one at risk.
This is
Kindle
hard
would
to
also
solve it.
say for the druids, make sure you're wild shape so you're not recognized. You'll still be needed for the plan
Oh,
when we
yeah.
tell them that, hey, get out of town because the vampires are attacking.
Or
You
you could say
think
there's a
I'd
bear in
walk
their
into
house.
someone's house looking like this? Honest.
Or you could say there's a bear in their house. I mean, it's pretty accurate.
How would a bear get in their house?
Break it
Broke
in.
the door down.
It doesn't
Yep.
seem likely out here. So there's that.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
the Feywild. You don't know what there is.
I
Actually,
do.
they
I've lived
do.
here for my
Matter of
entire life.
fact, I do. I'm from
I-
here. Or at least this plane.
Born and raised.
Aye.
All right.
Though it's been a while since I was last here.
Aye, mate.
Just sound absurdly Scottish.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can see
no.
she kind of. Tanada just looked at you with like closed eyes. What do you say?
You know, I've been watching too much of a specific Scottish YouTuber, so it's been really rubbing off on my
And
accent.
well, guess
Scotland.
what? Tanada's accent is Scottish, so.
Scotland.
Okay, so
I think the best way
Is-
is to have the two druids and the rogue split up the money and make it hard for the merchants to get to it or to collect
Okay.
it very easily.
okay. So that's the plan.
Seems
Then
like
I
it.
will-
Sounds like it.
And Kairos
Okay,
will somewhat like go to the exit of the town and just stand there.
So, question: what form does Fern take? This does matter.
Let's see, something small enough to be able to easily get in and out of places, but also capable
I will-
of actually moving. So probably like a
I will-
squirrel or something.
I will say this: currently, all of the merchants are out. Let's be honest. This is a settlement. No houses, tents everywhere. The big tents, you're very able to quickly realize there are seemingly 4 or 5 really big tents that all seem to be owned by the merchants. They clearly work together and sleep together and everything. Their gold is collectively hidden in 1 or 2 of those 10 collectively. So there are 5 tents. I'll say there are 5 tents. 1 or 2 of them have the golden. So what form is Fern going to take? Because I'll say certain goes as squirrel.
They'll stick with squirrel as well. I think it's small and it's capable of actually moving stuff.
Zosa, do you take
Yeah.
your snake form or do you stick as your normal form and just try to rogue this?
Probably just rogue.
Okay. So,
Zosa's fucking stupid as a snake.
So, I'm going to say this. I want Unreal. You're rolling with advantage because of your smaller size. Zosa, you're rolling normal, but because you're a rogue, you should still be fine. And Certain, because he's a different size, well, he is also going to roll at advantage.
I assume
Okay.
it's a stealth you want us to roll?
Stealth.
Something
Sorry,
like
I
that.
don't know if I said that or not.
You didn't say anything about it.
Yeah.
You just said we
Stealth.
got advantage. Or just said
Fern rolls stealth with advantage, Certain rolls stealth with advantage, and
Zosa just rolls.
just rolls straight.
Yep.
But she's a rogue. She should be fine.
Yeah.
I will say the
Well,
DC is 18.
First roll is a nat 20. Do I need to roll the other one?
I will say that that's enough. The DC was an 18.
What was
So
your
I
plus
rolled
in
the dice. You said
stealth?
DC 18. Okay, I rolled the dice. Nat 20. Well, do I even need to roll?
19.
19.
So-
Okay.
It would be
And,
technically a 21. if you
And
want
Certain
direct
rolled an
orders.
18. So. Okay. I'm going to quickly roll.
Oh god.
So. Okay then. Okay, so I'll say that I will say it actually So I will say this. So Certain does not find one of the piles of money. I will say that it is in boxes. Zosa finds these crates full of gold, and so does Fern. The tent is empty. It's lit. There's sounds of, well, merchants shouting outside. What do? You guys both get to decide. You guys are both in separate tents. And you know that if the money's like this, it is likely that these are the only that, like, it's either your tent or yours and someone else's. So what is it that you two do? It's in crates. The floor seems to be sand covered in carpet. There are torches around the tent. The material seems to be made out of leather. It's a very big tent, but it's empty. Both, like, it's very similarly looking. She's there thinking.
I just don't know how the fuck we would move it without it being obvious.
I mean, we're
Magic.
trying to make it difficult for them to pick it up and run away with it.
Yeah, in this,
So couldn't we
everyone.
just
Couldn't we just?
couldn't we just like put all of the gold into like one bin?
There is
We
not
wanna
a
make it
bin
difficult?
inside of this tent big enough.
I
to
don't
wear it out.
fucking know how to describe it.
It's Zosa's decision. You figure
The
something
way
out.
the way
I'll
I
tell you-
would think of it as just player advice, just tip the things over and just spread them out. Make it hard
I
for
will
them to
say
pick it
this,
up.
If it is too loud, there is the risk. But I will say this: you guys did this, I'd say, around an hour before midnight.
I would say about
Right?
an hour, yeah.
Okay.
I suppose.
I will say this: there's always the risk. If you do something too loud, you might get found out, and specifically Zosa, that is a risk for you.
Yeah. Zosa dies. What a shame.
I wouldn't suggest it.
I feel like we should slowly start spreading.
I think
slowly start spreading, saying that there's a vampire horde coming to the innocent people.
not an hour before. We wait until they're done first.
You'd
We,
probably
we
wanna
need
shock
we
them.
need to make sure that the merchants are gonna take a while.
Yeah.
Basically, so you
So if
want
we
to like
start spreading
minutes.
rumors too early, they'll come running
wanna spread ru-
immediately.
Yeah, you don't want to spread rumors. You want to just shout it and they'll all run.
Yeah. Mm.
Hopefully, I don't know how good these people's survival instincts are. So, okay, Fern, Zosa, what do you do?
I don't know. Got any suggestions?
Oh, you're gonna have to figure something out. So, like, I
Oh
can't
right,
help
we're
you.
in separate tents.
Yeah, so you're alone.
It's are these
How?
closed
What structure is the
crates or
tent?
open straight crates? Just wanting to make sure.
How raised are that? These are very big. These are 15-foot high tents.
Okay. What do the tents look like? Like, is it like just kind of like fabric held together by beams, or is it
Leather.
like an actual structure?
Earth.
Leather held together by by very limited amount of beams. Yeah, anybody?
Question from Unreal. Are the crates opened or closed?
Currently closed, but it does not seem like it would take a very long. It would maybe take 10 seconds to open each crate, and there's like 5
Do they open at the top or at the side?
top.
Top, and they're 15 feet tall. How tall are these fucking
Oh
merchants?
no, not
Do
the
they
crate.
need a
The
ladder?
10 to 15 feet tall.
Okay, I.
Damn. They're not
How-
that rich.
How tall are the crates, and how many of them are there?
Maybe 2 to 3 feet tall each. Slightly
2
wider
or 3
than they
feet
all.
tall.
There's
2
five.
to 3 feet
Oh.
tall each. So they're cubic.
Five, and I'll
around
say
2 to
they're
3 feet.
stacked in the 2 to 1 at the back end of the tent.
Could I just like shove the crates to the door to block the door from them getting in?
It's the door of a tent, so
Yeah,
it's just
it's
like
just-
flat.
Yeah. I would say, Earth, after like 5 minutes, I am going to send Snow after one of them.
Okay.
At invisible.
Got it.
You know, oh yeah, she could go invisible. Then
Yeah.
you're not even gonna roll.
I will attempt to.
Okay, I'm gonna
open
roll
the
for
sides
no.
of the crates.
So if she rolls, I'll say this: Snow is gonna need a little bit more before she finds either of them. She is in a completely separate tent.
Remember, she is also a cat-like thing, so she can probably smell where they are.
Yes, but this is a settlement full of people who are
True.
with various different smells.
There's a
Cool.
lot
So
of
say that
sense every freaking where.
I'll say it evens out to around the fair. And I already rolled. She's in a different tent. Okay, so let's see. How long are we gonna sit here to figure out what we're gonna do with 5 crates full of gold?
I just said that I will be attempting to find a way to just like break open the side of the crate without making too much noise. Intending to
Okay.
essentially make the gold just spill out of the freaking.
Okay, so you are currently a squirrel.
Yeah, I know.
You are definitely not strong enough to either
Well-
open or break this crate.
Oh,
You could
couldn't
try
they
and
bite
chew through
it?
the wood.
Yeah, chew through it.
Yeah. Okay, you have an hour for
Well,
that.
not a woodpecker.
I'm not a beaver, goddammit. I'm a
That would
squirrel.
hurt your fucking teeth
They
like
sure
hell.
aren't a beaver.
Could I just stack the gold like individual bars in like little towers all around the tent?
You haven't opened the crate, so you don't even know what the gold looks like. You just know there's gold in there. It's labeled gold.
Oh right.
It'd be
Right,
coins, it'd be
okay.
bars,
You don't know if
it'd
it's
be
coins,
blades.
bars, or fucking liquid.
nails, golden nails.
Turns out it's just a liquid.
Golden shavings.
Turns out it's just
Golden-
liquid, pours it on the floor.
That would make things a lot easier. Zosa, you could just open the crates considering you're a human form.
Yeah.
You
What
just open
what
one
are
of
the
crates?
Yeah, I'll just open the crate. Like
Stacks next
What
to
is
stacks,
there?
very very neat stacks of coins.
very coins.
Yes.
You know what? Can I just dump the coins on the floor? Like
Yes, you can,
that's-
but
that's why I
remember
intend
that
to
will
find
make
a
a
way of
very
breaking
big amount of
that.
noise.
can I do it carefully though?
You can try.
How about this? Open all of the crates first, then knock them over all at once.
You could, but that would be even louder. You guys
the
are
point.
really not gonna.
That's the
This is
point.
why
Yeah,
I'm not
it-
making you guys do a stealth
If
mission.
we
You guys are all
wait,
dead.
until
No.
half an hour, and then tip all the crates over at once, and then yell out, "There's a vampire horde coming at the same time."
Half an hour?
So you guys would have
They
to.
gotta
wait
have
half an hour
worse
until-
time than that.
No, I think, but then they'd have a half an hour to pick up all their coins. You could do
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Well,
You're
that's
giving them
fine.
too much time.
You could do it 15 minutes before and just not risk the noise. And then afterwards, you're gonna have to figure out how you're gonna get out alive before anyone finds you.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun.
And
Suppose
Unreal,
what I could
you
do is just like open the crates and just like turn into a cat and just like wait and just jump on the edge of the crate so they fall over.
Okay, considering that you are gonna also roll for Snow again. Snow's not fine. Snow finds certain. That's great. So I will say, considering you are not in your human form, I want you to roll for strength for me to open the crate.
That's
Just straight strength.
strength. Straight strength. Okay. That is a 15.
It is very much a struggle, and I will say to open up all the crates while in squirrel form, it does take you, give or take, 10-15 minutes to do so. And it was very much a struggle, but you're able to do it without noise considering the ground is padded with sand and carpet. So now you have 5 crates open next to each other, ready to jump. And you also, at this point, you also know that it's coins.
Yeah, I'll then turn into a cat and just like hop onto a ledge or something, like a shelf or something. Just wait and then essentially
Wait
just
until a
jump
quarter of an hour
down
beforehand.
onto the edge of the crate so they start falling down.
Okay. Zosa, what do you do?
Um,
You can
Can I
still
just
turn
pour the
into a
coins on the
snake,
floor?
right? Can you
She
just
can.
yeah,
can
but
you
I
just
don't know
tip
how
the
useful that is.
you
That
can
would make
tip
you a
the
lot
cr-
smaller.
you can tip the crates over and then just turn into a snake and get out.
I suppose, yeah. Yeah, I'll just do that, I guess.
You'll do that? Okay. So
Just-
I'm gonna say this because you're just throwing them over. Firstly, you're doing this a quarter of an hour before midnight, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I
So in the
want
order
you.
this will happen is that we're gonna have Zosa at 45 before midnight would tip the crates over, and then
Fern as well.
and I think actually the way Fern's gonna do it, Fern's not gonna do it until she hears us screaming vampires to get out, right?
No,
Yeah,
Fern would probably
that was
do
the
it.
plan.
Oh wait. You're gonna do it when the vampires show up.
No, when we start shouting vampires, get out.
Okay. So it'll be 10 minutes before. All right then. I will say this, Bly. If that's what you're going to do, I want you to roll stealth with advantage, and that will make it the same DC 18.
22.
22. You make it. So I will say, I'm going to quickly, I'll say Certain and Snow are in a tent nearby enough where they hear the dumping of gold. And I'll say they're also just gone. As well, Snow doesn't need to roll, and Certain rolled fucking 19. Natural 19, by the way. He did not roll, he rolled higher than that outside of it. So they're just gone immediately. And you dump the gold. And you hear footsteps rushing in. You see a couple of men holding these long torches. Watches their gold drops or go down, try to pick it up. These are the merchants. They're dressed finely, whatever. They're clearly unhappy about this, but you're gone. They don't even see you. And then I will say, what does the group do outside of Fern? Considering you are going to be the ones that decide when this happens.
Yeah, Kairos will most likely yell as loud as he can. Vampire horde incoming.
Will you? Okay, so you guys do this 10 minutes beforehand.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, how many people shout this?
I imagine the whole group, right? Everyone except for
Okay.
Fern.
Everyone who's back. I will say at this point, Certain and Snow are also back. Okay, so you guys all shout, "Vampire horde incoming!" You just say that?
Yep.
Evacuate. Yeah. Okay. So, I thought we were gonna have you guys roll for it because this is an area very aware that vampires are a thing, and a lot of them are humanoid creatures that have blood, so they're scared. I'll say you shout them. It's loud enough to where, considering how small the settlement is, the entire settlement can hear it, and you can see me shuffling women, children, men that look like peasants. All of them run out, and you can hear inside someone shouting, "Get!" A bunch of people shouting, a combination, "Get the gold!" Unreal, what do you do?
When I hear them yelling, I'll start tipping over the crates in the tent I'm in as
Okay.
a cat.
I will say, considering you are both a cat and so because they're rushing at you, I will say you are what's it called? You're only gonna roll with one advantage in spite of the chaos, because they are actively calling for you. Roll with advantage, stealth, DC 18.
Let's see, stealth. That's down there. Well, that one's not too good. Yeah, no, I do not succeed. The highest I got is a 10.
10. Okay. I will
The
say
first roll was a nat 1, so what am I supposed to do with that?
you knock over the crates, And what's it called? Because the crates are, I'll say this, there are a bit of distance. They run in, see a cat, and see the crates tipped over, opened. What do you do? You can see they're looking at you with just like it's you get one turn. You could try running, you could try doing something else.
Kitty, I'm a cat.
Oh, no,
Suppose
I
I'll
hope it's not that.
try to
I
like
do realize,
dodge
let's say you have,
them
let's say you have
while
eight
crashing down
minutes
more
to finish.
crates.
So you're just gonna dash.
At least gonna
Sir-
attempt to.
Okay, roll for dexterity with advantage because these are all people who are confused. You're a cat. Just sheer confusion. Save, by the way.
Dexterity save. That's not really.
You have advantage. Remember that.
Yep.
You have advantage.
Yeah, I know. Let's see. First one's
Please.
a 16.
Ooh.
The other's a 6. So
Okay,
Eh.
so it's the 6th. Is this save?
yeah, that's save.
Okay, cool.
I don't have the
You-
greatest dexterity.
Due to these people all being like so unexpected, so most of them are holding torches and unfocused. You sprint around them through one's legs and you're out. Because of the sheer crowd running, either one of them like an angry growl almost. Like not an animalistic growl, but like and it says, "Fuck that. Fuck the cats. Get the money." And they all run in, try to get the money. I am going to roll for how quickly they do this. I will say they will roll with disadvantage because you gave them a very limited amount of time beforehand. They have 7 minutes. And they will not stop until they get every single gold. So I will say for both tents, I'm going to roll.
Also, Kairos will be most likely trying to get all the women and children out.
Yeah,
I will say
whoever
yes.
is like shouting, they're trying to guide the people out of town.
I'll say the DC, I will say though, because of you guys not moving the carpet or anything, or making it harder to pick up, I will say the DC is only a 12 to get out in time. First group, roll a 10 and an 8, so they get an 8. And the second group already rolled a 4.
Yeah.
As you all rush to get all of these people out before it happens, as there seemingly are many other people are going to come out, the clock strikes midnight. Out of the shadows, on top of the largest of the tents, you see hooded figures you recognize as vampires all around. In the middle, the largest one, Dracula, opens his cape and says, "What you have done shall not be tolerated. Brothers and sisters, feast today on the blood of those who see greed above the importance of souls. May the slaughter begin." Which at this point, you can see jumping down, massive speed. I will say you hear noises mostly, and sometimes a blood splatter escaping as everyone else seems to get out. It is absolute chaos. You hear a combination of screaming, blood curdling, a sound of leaking, gold crashing. And at some point, you can see on the outside, as you all manage to get away from the settlement, the outside of the settlement, which had like a wooden fence, gets set on fire. Anyone who is in there is dead. No doubt about it. And after maybe 15 minutes to half an hour, you can start seeing who they start pulling out bodies. Oh, slit open necks. Very gory. Things that you wouldn't even want Glacial to see, but she's probably seen worse. They grab sticks that the vampire seems to have taken with them, stick them in, and in a very cruel visage, start impaling them in front of the building. But due to how well you guys did, I will say you count exactly. Every single one of them is a noble, and there are exactly 40 corpses. And as quickly as they came, they disappear into the night, leaving nothing but fire, blood, and 40 impaled corpses.
So how far were we to be able to see this?
I will say you guys are within, definitely, you guys are up on a little dune away from it. Again, everything is sand.
Well, after they've left, could I go down and start grabbing some gold?
Yeah, that's a great idea, honestly.
It is
I'm doing the same.
I will say this, the tents were not made of a non-flammable material. Everything is on fire.
So what?
And
Gold
you
isn't
realize, like,
flammable.
these people currently, let me just say this, Lachlan. Kairos sees these people, you are mostly seen as the people who saved them, because you're the people who said that the vampires are coming. For you to rush back for
And collect
gold,
their gold, yeah.
Okay,
might
then I tell
change that
Volsa to stealth to go grab
No!
some gold.
At this point, Kindler's
you
gonna
gonna- No,
grab
actually,
you by
that-
the back of the head and be like, stop.
you can see Thanada
Just-
just holds her fingers in front of her face and says, "What a moral group we are." Ah. Is there anything you guys would like to do before? I'll say this though, the rest of the people seem to have got most of their stuff out, like nags and pack mules, stuff that they could move with. And this is not very far away from town. They likely don't need more help. Like, yeah, you helped out a bit, but you likely don't need any more help. And I will say at this point, the name Veil Walkers has spread at this point, because
Oh,
you guys are the ones
lovely.
that warned and you guys are the ones that saved.
Could I make
Is-
hang on,
Yeah.
let me just check my inventory quickly. Could I make some rope dolls for any of the children?
Oh God.
You wouldn't. How I think that you would not have either the rope or the time,
I do have rope.
because they're gonna start moving quickly.
And they need to get out of here.
They need to get
Yeah.
out of here.
Fair enough.
And you can see a lot of these people. There are women who are crying, but there are men who are basically dragging them away. Children who are, of course, well, sad. And this, in spite of you knowing that the people who are in there likely did deserve to die, a lot of them were parents. A lot of them were brothers. These, yes, may not have been good people, but in spite of what you did technically being a good thing, it does not feel good. You just sided with, to the more moral among you, you just sided with a vampire to kill 40 people. Wait a second. Hey, Mama.
So are we going back to the castle?
Next time.
To be fair, Kairos doesn't like
Marina?
nobles too much, so
Neither does
Zosa just
Kindle,
wants
but she still
money.
doesn't like this
Okay,
either.
Come
And again,
over
we
and
didn't
let
really
her-
have a choice.
hey, at least we
Want
saved the
dit-
women
dit
and
ze
the
die niet
children.
afmaken. En ik kan die pauze nemen voordat ik ga afmaken. Ja, snel, ik kom. Okay. Is there anything anyone would like to do before you leave?
Get
No,
me
nothing?
some
No, not
money.
really. No.
Okay. Also, God, do remember, you guys, I don't think your characters. This is just something to Lachlan. Zosa actually probably would, but to Kairos, I do not think your character cares about gold enough to go back there for gold. I'm just gonna say that out loud. It doesn't make sense for him to be that obsessed with gold.
I will say
Really
this:
doesn't.
Kindle will probably take a
Zosa
step.
absolutely would.
Take a
Zosa
s-
would.
I will say this: Kindle will
Zosa's
probably
just a
take a few
bitch.
steps towards the corpses, as if she's gonna try and do something, but then decided not, as in not to piss off the vampires.
You should not. This is very clearly a display. Okay, so do you guys all start heading back to Dracula's castle?
Yep.
Yep.
I'd assume
All
so.
right. Then I will say at this point, I think this is a very good time to end the session.